Alright, we are inside Casa Loma's Legends of Horror for the 2023 season. We are with a bunch of scaredy cats who clearly cannot handle this. We are going to show you some new things. Oh my god, like that. It actually is a little bit different from previous years. So I know you guys have probably seen my video from last year. This is going to be all new stuff. This is already a lot better than last year. I can't wait to show you. Alright, so we've already definitely noticed some differences from previous years. It's a lot more jump scares. I'm not gonna lie, your boy is a little bit injured. I don't know what I did to my legs. Like, walking is a bit of a challenge. There's a lot of stairs here, a lot of walking up and down, so making it work. But this is honestly an improvement from last year for sure. I'm really digging this. Who's cleaning that up, right? Right? Something definitely just dripped on my head. I don't know what it was. Yuck. So we exited the first little like haunted house area. We were walking back outside again. We made some friends. Like this guy. And we're gonna keep going and seeing what happens. So stay tuned. The club area. You probably can't hear me at all right now. We're getting drinks, we're getting food, we're getting all the things right now. It is so hot in here. So find a good spot. We're right by the heater. It's cooled down a little bit since we moved, but yeah, it is super hot in here. Party on.
One eternity later.
Okay, so we spent way too much time in the like club area. We got a bunch of drinks, bunch of food. The mac and cheese bites are by far the best thing in there, but they have like churro bites. They've got like, what else did we get in there? Like shrimp, sorry, I'm like limping. Shrimp, spring rolls, a bunch of really yummy, appy type dishes that I would strongly recommend. Drink-wise, a bit of everything. Like I said, we had tequila, we had shots, we had drinks, we had a bit of everything. It's not the cheapest, I will admit, but it's a good like sort of halfway mark. There are toilets sort of like closer to the front once you get through that area, and then you kind of continue on. So that's what we're about to now. We just had a food and drink break. Now we had a washroom break. limping along because I'm still very sore. I should have brought something with me because I'm still not in a good way. And then we're gonna make our way through the rest of the tour. So we will check in with you in there. All right, we are about to enter the tunnels under Casa Loma, so let's go. All right, we're in the tunnels. It's very damp in here. It stinks. Someone just stepped on my shoe. So it definitely stinks in here. Very foggy. Nope. So it's super foggy down here. Your boy, who is a little bit bad way, is having a hard time. Almost done though. That was really cool. They did like the Phantom of the Opera little set there. That was really awesome. I'm very impressed with that. We're still in the tunnels though. I am really on the struggle walking right now. Through my own fault. I think we're almost done though. We are now entering the horse stable area. Okay, let's talk Casa Loma Legends of Horror for the 2023 season. So I'm not going to give you some big long-winded review like I normally do. At least I'm going to try my best not to. I know I always started off that way and end up talking for like 20-30 minutes, but I'm really going to try this time because if you've been following the channel, you saw I did a review of this last year. I did a full walkthrough, gave you my final thoughts at the end. That video I think was about half an hour. I will say though, that video seems to have gained a lot of traction this year. A lot of views this year, so thank you if you checked that one out this year or last year. I do try to get these sort of videos out to you as early in the season as I possibly can, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of information for when you're booking your spooky season events. Unfortunately, you know, there's only so many weekends in the spooky season holiday, so you know, there's only so many events I can get to at a time. I have been pretty much booked solid since I think like the end of September doing these types of events. So unfortunately, this one is probably going to get to you closer to Halloween than I would have liked. So I do apologize. That said, hopefully this video can help you for, I mean, if you haven't finished planning your spooky season yet, hopefully this video can help you with that. Hopefully, maybe you're going to stumble across this in 2024 or even later than that, 2025, and it'll give you some inspiration then as well. Or maybe just even now you'll watch it and think, what am I going to get to for next year? So anyway, hopefully all those things considered, I will get into it right now of what we thought of this year's Legends of Horrors at Casa Loma. So right off the bat, I will say they definitely stepped up their game. We noticed a lot of changes versus previous years. We noticed that there were more like scare actors walking around than normal. I don't remember ever seeing as many or any really throughout the park. Well, not the park, I guess I should say, throughout the grounds as I did this year. And I'm talking about when you first walk in, you are in the garden area, you're walking outside. There were quite a few scare actors there that surprised me. I noticed some new displays. It seems like they changed actually the route that you're walking as well. It seemed a little bit different than in previous years. So if you have attended this in the past and we're kind of thinking, seen it, been there, done that kind of thing, I would say give it another shot, because we were pleasantly surprised at how much had changed and how much had improved from previous years. So as soon as you get there, you're gonna probably notice a long line. So as I say in all my sort of seasonal type videos, especially spooky season, Halloween type things, try to book these events earlier on the season, because they tend to be not as busy. Now we were at this, by the time you've seen this video, it's going to be closer to Halloween, but we went to this, I would say mid to end of October. So it was busy. When we first showed up, there was a pretty long line sort of stretching around that can be very intimidating. Don't let it intimidate you. I promise you the line moves very quickly, especially if you've already purchased tickets, which I will recommend you purchase your tickets in advance. I'm actually not sure if they even have them available at the door. I think that they do, but just for your own sake and peace of mind and everything, purchase your tickets beforehand. I will also recommend, if you are like me and need to use the washroom all the time, definitely make sure you go before you go into the grounds or before you can get to the lineup. There's a Tim Hortons and a coffee shop sort of around the corner. If you're feeling particularly brave and there's nobody looking around, find a tree. But it's a pretty busy road. You can probably still do it if you're sneakily enough and your friends kind of guard you enough. Not saying from experience, but you could probably do it. Just be very, very careful. But otherwise, yeah, find the Tim Hortons, find the pizza place. Definitely recommend peeing there in advance, because once you go in there, you're not going to find a washroom for quite a while, at least more than halfway through the attraction. So anyway, so you're gonna walk through the gardens. You're gonna find all these new displays and things like that around. You're gonna find new scare actors around. So we were really impressed with that. As you enter the first sort of building that has some different areas that you can check out, different displays again, different scares, jump scares, actors and whatnot in there as well. Still looked familiar to last year, but with some sort of changes here and there. But yeah, even still, that place was really cool too. After that, you are going to continue on the gardens a little bit more, which again, some new displays there, some new scare areas there, which were really cool. Next step is when you go into the sort of nightclub area. The nightclub area is a lot of fun. We ended up getting drinks in there and some snacks. Strongly recommend the mac and cheese bites. They are delicious. I think they are about $12 or so. Now, I think in last year's video, I said that the drinks were expensive. I don't disagree with that statement this year, but I will say, given the time frame, given the time that we're sort of in right now, with inflation, with this, with that, and the other, I actually didn't find the drinks to be as bad this year. So for example, if you want to get like a shot or sort of bar rail and a drink, like, a vodka soda or, something like that, I think you're looking at about the $9 mark. I will throw some prices up so that way you can kind of see what I'm talking about, but I think it was around the $9 mark. They had some special drinks there that were sort of themed for the event. I think those were, I want to say, around 16. Again, I will throw up the prices. I'm trying to go off memory here, but I will throw up the prices so you can see sort of what's available. And they had some snacks as well, which varied in prices as well. I think the mac and cheese bites were around $12, but yeah, really, really tasty. I grabbed a few things. I grabbed some churros, some mac and cheese bites, some, I think they were shrimp spring rolls. Those were all really good. We all snacked on those. Cody went and grabbed like a bunch more of the mac and cheese bites because they were so good, so we all sort of shared those. At least when you're having some drinks, it's a good thing to kind of like have something in your stomach. Plus, if you're, it's a good little sort of halfway mark of the event. We got a few drinks in there, a few shots. We were loving the music. It was a lot of like, I would say 90s and early 2000s, mid 2000s, like hip hop and just like top 40 and stuff. We were really enjoying it. We were singing along the whole time. I am unfortunately dealing with a bit of an injury per se, so otherwise I probably would have been up in that dance floor dancing my bum off. But anyway, it was a lot of fun. You'll really enjoy the music. I think it was a great time. After that is when you go through the notorious Casa Loma tunnels. Now these are really cool how they have them set up. Very foggy, very dark, very creepy. yeah, just really neat to walk through. After that, you end up in the horse stables where they have some other little setups going on here and there. And then you are going to end up basically outside Casa Loma. So all in all, the whole experience, I mean, we stopped at the bar nightclub area, I would say for at least half an hour. You can pretty much stay there as little or as long as you want. But yeah, we did kind of linger around there a little bit longer than probably most people would, but we were honestly having a great time with the music, with the drinks, with the snacks. We were just having such a laugh, and yeah, we were really enjoying that part of the experience. All in all though, I'd say you're probably looking at being there, I would say bank on an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours. I mean, little or as long as you want really to get through the experience. I tend to not be that person to run through. I like to kind of take my time and walk through things and sort of take it all in and absorb it all and, you know, notice things and see things, not just sort of beeline through the whole thing, because these things don't really scare me. They make me laugh, if anything, because I just think they're so fun. Now, some things to keep in mind. So this is an outdoor and indoor event, rain or shine. So if it's raining outside, make sure you're dressed appropriately. Make sure you've got like an umbrella with you or a raincoat or something like that. You are walking through the gardens as well, so make sure you have appropriate foot attire. So, you know, if you're worried about maybe slipping or tripping, or, you know, if you're worried about walking in mud and ruining your, you know, your Christian Louboutins or something like that, just be aware that you are going to be walking outside in the garden. So someone like me, so as mentioned, I did have a little bit of a, I don't know what happened, if I pulled a muscle or pinched a nerve or both, but my back and my whole right leg have just been kind of moshed up this last week or so. So I was actually really concerned that I was not going to be able to go to this event. We purchased these tickets back in like the beginning of September based on, you know, trying to plan things scheduled. So we brought our friends, the twins, Melissa and Nadine. You might have seen them in some of my other videos, or for like spooky season or Christmas market or other videos like that. So we brought them for the first time, so we sort of had to go based on their schedules as well, because they're really busy too. So this was their very first time actually attending Casa Loma in general, but also specifically Legends of Horror. So anyway, yes, I didn't know if I'd be able to attend this event. I really did push through, but I'm not gonna lie, there were certain areas where, especially we're walking up like lots and lots of stairs, and I was worried I wasn't gonna make it, but you know, I pushed through and luckily managed. But yeah, just be forewarned, you know, in terms of fitness level, I guess, that there is going to be some stairs, there's going to be a lot of walking. Even in terms of maybe any physical limitations you may have, I actually don't know how they would sort of cater to those potential needs or requirements. I don't really know, to be honest with you, because as I said, there are a lot of stairs and it's a lot of walking. Outdoors. Indoors, yeah, you are going to be doing some indoor walking as well. As I said, that first little sort of scare area through the tunnels, through the stables and everything. So I would definitely say just dress appropriately. Even temperature wise, check the temperature of the actual event itself. You know, go on your phone, check out, you know, what, you know, the area, and look at the time in advance too. Don't just look at what the temperature is now. Look at what the temperature is going to be when you're going to be there, and also later on in the day too. You know, pull out your phone, pull up like the weather app, the weather network, whatever you use. Check the actual address of where you're going for one thing, and check the time frame that you're going to be there, because you never know what the temperature could, you know, it fluctuates like crazy, especially in Canada. I mean, a kilometer or so away, it could be raining and it could be, you know, sunny and beautiful where you are, right? So it always pays to look in advance of what the temperature is going to be like, what the weather's going to be like. Dress appropriately, dress in layers even. I mean, as I said, you are going to be outside, so maybe bring a little jacket, bring a little sweater with you, something like that. I will say that the nightclub area was really hot though, so you know, if you have layers on, probably for the best, because we were dying there. They had the heat up like really high for some reason. It was very, very hot. This is also the area where you are gonna be able to use the washrooms, because there's like a couple trailers sort of set up off the side where you can use the washrooms. I forgot to mention that when you are sort of at the halfway mark, which is the nightclub. Now, price wise, we paid $55 each after all the service fees and all those, you know, additional charges and whatnot. So it ended up being $55. Not a little bit of money, especially for a night, you know, just a night out. But at the end of the day, when you start to compare it to some of the other events that are going on in the city, I mean, yeah, it's still not a little bit of money, but it is done very, very well. So like, for example, this was, as I mentioned, our twin friends, it was their first time ever attending Casa Loma in general, particularly Legends of Horror. They loved it. And I know that sounds like, oh wow, who are they kind of thing, but we go to a lot of these types of events. They go to a lot of events. We, as you know, as a group, go to a lot of like the, you know, spooky season events and things like that. So they are used to attending a lot of these, and you know, for them to really, they said it was one of the favorites that they've ever been to, and as I mentioned, we go to quite a few of these, so that is sort of high praise. I will say it's probably one of my favorites as well. It's really well done, a really well-rounded event, I would say as well, because you do have that element of, it's a beautiful area to be in, for one thing. I mean, Casa Loma is gorgeous any time of the year, so I strongly urge you to check out Casa Loma. Even if it's not for this particular event, just go and see it, just for, you know, just to see the ground, see everything. It's definitely worth checking out. It's great because they really did seem to amp things up this year, and just in general they do tend to put a lot of hard work into their events. So they had a lot of great, you know, scare zones, they had a lot of great actors there, a lot of great displays and things like that, so everything looked really great. Even just that sort of halfway mark where you're at the nightclub, even that's done very well. I believe it's Captain Morgan's who actually sponsors this event, and yeah, they definitely seem to put on a really good show. Like I said, this bar area, you're sort of spoiled for choice in terms of, you know, drink options, in terms of food options. It's a fun atmosphere. You've got great music playing. You've got people seeming to really have a good time. People are dancing. People are enjoying themselves. It's just a really well-rounded event. Now, is this spot right for you? If you love spooky season as much as I do, if you love attending these different Halloween and sort of horror night type events, I definitely think this is one of the better ones in the at least in the Greater Toronto area. I think, as mentioned, it's well-rounded. I think that it's something that you're gonna have a good time. You're gonna probably get spooked out here and there. You're gonna appreciate the time and the, you know, the effort that it took to put the whole event together, in terms of the displays, in terms of the costumes, in terms of everything. I think you're gonna, you know, really appreciate that. I think you're gonna, if you're someone who just, you know, wants to have a fun night out with their friends as well, I think you're gonna enjoy it, you know, having a laugh. I know, you know, we kept laughing, you know, seeing our friends getting scared, and then, you know, also going to that sort of nightclub area, having some drinks, listening to the music, singing along, and kind of dancing in our chairs. And I think you're gonna enjoy yourself on that aspect as well. I would say this is probably for, you know, the, I wouldn't say older demographic, but I would say you probably want to be maybe 16 and up kind of thing, especially if you do scare easily. I didn't see a lot of kids there. I know they do actually have family hours as well. I believe it's before 7 o'clock is when I think it's a little more family friendly, probably a little less scary. I think after 7 is when it tends to be more of like the scare type of environment. So if you are someone who maybe scares easily and, you know, doesn't really like that kind of an atmosphere, then maybe this isn't for you. Or maybe check it out when it's sort of in the more family friendly hours, because maybe it'll be a little less scary. You can still kind of see what they've done and sort of appreciate the whole kind of atmosphere and everything like that. Anyway, that's probably going to do it for this year's sort of run through or walk through or review, whatever you want to call it, of the 2023 season of Casa Loma's Legends of Horror. If I've missed anything, please don't hesitate to leave any of your comments below. I mean, it's really helpful for the other travelers out there as well, because they may have the same questions as you. It's helpful for me because then I know what to include for future videos. It also helps with YouTube's algorithm. Like, any interaction you have with my videos is super helpful, whether you comment, like, subscribe, etc. It'll really help kind of spread this across YouTube. If you aren't currently subscribed, I'd really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button. It's right in the corner there. It's completely free for you, and it really helps me keep delivering this free content to you. If you have any suggestions on maybe other spooky season events that are coming up, maybe for even for next year for me to plan ahead, let me know below. There's another one called, I think it's called Hexwood. It's somewhere in Pickering. I really wanted to check that one out. I heard mixed things about it, but I wanted to kind of give my own kind of take on it. Didn't get a chance to do it, and probably won't get to it this year, unfortunately. I believe there's another one in Niagara Falls called the Haunted Hayride. Anyway, another one I want to check out, but again, timing is sort of against me this year. So many events going on, and so many, you know, this month has just been absolutely crazy. I can't believe it's going to be November soon. So anyway, leave your comments below though, because I mean, it maybe for next year I can try and get to it, and try and get to it a little bit earlier in the season as well, so that way I can kind of plan my month out a little bit better. But anyway, once again, it's been Daniel Spotlight. Thank you for visiting Casa Loma's Legends of Horror with me, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.